Taylor Taranto with End of the Road News, special breaking episode, exclusive. So I'm going over this John Sullivan case again. Some things fell in my lap. I was tipped about I don't go too much into this angle on this episode because that's saving it for later, but I think I found some things and it's pretty interesting. Now, it's considering January 6ers and blackmail. Yes, right. And I'm not going to go into that. Sorry to tease you so hard. But I will talk about John Sullivan here again, because what I found are a lot of really weird discrepancies. Now, if you've been following me, I talked a little bit about what Jaden said before he left. He said he got to keep all $90,000. Now, that's weird because it doesn't really seem that, but he says the government is helping him cover that up because he turned the money legit. He made it clean. So that got me moving down a path that's really strange. And we're going to get really strange here because this is getting really weird. Now, a document filed in his case May 21st, 2021, titled Government's Memorandum in Opposition to Defendant's Motion to Release Seizure and Order to Forbid Seizures of Other Accounts. The government states that on April 28th, 2021, Magistrate Judge Michael Harvey issued 2 sealed seizure warrants as to approximately $90,000 in the defendant's bank account ending 7715 and $1,000 in a Venmo account linked to the defendant's bank account. So, supporting affidavit alleged probable cause to believe those funds were subject to both civil and criminal forfeitures, property traceable to the defendant's obstruction of an official proceeding in violation 1512. Specifically, affidavit noted the case law has defined proceeds broadly to include any property that would not have been obtained but for the underlying violation of law. So, anyways, on April 29th, warrants were served, and government seized a balance of only $63,000. So, 90 minus 63. Yeah. So we got a discrepancy here. There's about $27,000 missing from that. Now, there's no mention, unless I'm wrong, I had some researchers go through and try to find some stuff, but they did not find anything. So this goes to the credit of this pathological serial liar, John Sullivan, when he says he got to keep at least some money, and the government has some knowledge about that. So there's more. There's absolutely more. In the same filing, that was page 10. Moving to page 20, we find out that he submitted no declaration, financial affidavits, or banking statements. Defendant must show he has no access to funds from family and friends. He says he hasn't provided any information about the assets outside his bank account ending in 7715, the only account from which funds were seized. He's not provided information about short or long-term liabilities. He's not detailed the sources of income despite being, to the government's understanding, currently employed by his father. He has not described his ability to use other assets, liquid, non-liquid, pay basic necessities, including assistance to family members and friends. Hasn't provided information regarding the funds he has recently expended towards household expenses, when any additional funds are requested. More detailed what the household expenses entail. So, let's see here. Next page, 21. More fulsome showing is particularly warranted in light of the defendant's pretrial service report from arresting jurisdiction, which was prepared from an interview conducted on January 15, 2021, according to D.C. pretrial services submitted to this court within the Rule 5 papers. Documents reported significant funds in unspecified bank accounts of the defendant, funds that wholly predate and lie entirely outside the scope of government seizure warrants. The government seizure warrants instead surgically targeted the defendant's $91,000 in proceeds from sale from his video footage, U.S. Capitol, all of which was deposited into his bank account subsequent to January 15th. Pretrial service report further noted multiple vehicles owned by the defendant and provided a specific estimate to the defendant's monthly expenses, including rent, groceries, phone bill, auto insurance, and other incidentals, which, extrapolated, should mean that the defendant retains substantial assets notwithstanding the government seizure of only $63,000 approximate on April 29th. So it says the government, moreover, is aware of at least one other bank account of the defendant with America First Credit Union, which he retained a positive balance as of March 19th, 2021. Again, this account and funds therein lie wholly outside the scope of the government seizure warrants. So, there's a lead. I mean, if you're really going to be able, I can't do much from here. So, but that does add some sort of weight to what this guy was saying. All right, so I was going to do some little thing, but I don't know how much time I got. So the thing is, another thing popped up. When you look up Jaden's or John Earl Sullivan in the Bureau of Prisons database, inmate database, you don't find him. I was asked about a week prior to John leaving, by inmate and defendant, J6 defendant, Dominic Box, if I believed, this is really strange because I was just talking with him, if I believed that he was going to prison, which I said, well, yeah, of course he's going to prison. And he looked at me strangely, kept it very quiet, and then muttered something. And I found that very strange, because then the conversation was over, and I had to leave, and that's pretty much it. So I really wish I knew that before I came up here. I was just talking with him about some of this stuff. Some people want to know more about Dominic. He's a pretty nice guy. Actually, I said earlier that I don't believe that he's much of a racist, because I haven't heard him say anything really racist. However, I just heard him yell at some of the other inmates. He did say something racist. I don't know how racist, because there was a lot of yelling back and forth, but it seemed a little bit racist. But you hear a lot of that, I mean, even from the black guys in here, so I don't really consider him a white supremacist, but then again, I don't know. Hardly know the guy. So, that's pretty interesting and strange. And another thing, he's supposed to be gone, so he's still here, and he's not gone yet. He's still here. So he was supposed to leave yesterday, and he didn't leave. He's still here. So he's a little upset. Maybe that added into it. And he's getting harassed down there. I don't know. So anyways, he did talk about some of these other people that are pretty strange in the J6 pod that he kind of vouched for. One of them was that guy who was dishonorably discharged from the military for killing an Iraqi. Strange.
You have 1 minute remaining.
He said he was a cool guy. Well, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so I'll probably do another follow-up. I just wanted to get that one out. That seems like really important stuff. I know I hinted at the blackmail thing, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time to talk about it. And I don't really have enough to talk about yet, but it ties into my January 6th investigation and the government kind of laundering money on behalf of some of these J6, at least a premise. I have no idea if it's legitimate, but, you know, this does seem to indicate something. At least the government has some knowledge of that. This money is there. There's money, but you can't. Either way, he was ordered.
Thank you for using Global Tel Link.